The people of Ukon were known far and wide as people who love and honor their creator. This devotion has passed down through many generations, starting with the first king, King Asoke. He was a wise and thoughtful man, and though his kingdom was rich, with lands that stretched far and wide, he often found himself surprised by how this fortune has come to him. His palace was filled with treasuries. His fields grew abundant crops, and his people lived in joy. But King Asoke knew that this great wealth and peace were not by his doing alone. One evening, as King Asoke lay on his grand bed, a strange radiant light appeared beside him. He blinked, thinking he was dreaming, but then he saw a magnificent being with golden wings. The being's face shone like the morning star, and he stood right next to the king's bed, filling the room with a warmth that Asoke had never felt before. Asoke, the being, spoke, and his voice was gentle yet powerful, like 100 voices speaking together. You have been chosen by the Creator to rule over Ukon. It is not by your strength or wisdom that you are here, but by the Creator's grace. You must lead your people in love and honor for the Creator, for that is why you were given this land. The king, trembling with awe, could hardly speak. I understand, he managed to say, his voice shaking. Gather your people, continued the angelic being. Worship and give thanks to the Creator every season. Let no one forget, for as long as you honor him, Ukon will flourish. But if you stray, the blessings will turn to curses, and sorrow will cover the land. As the morning sun began to rise, the king found himself alone again. He could hardly believe what has happened, but he knew he had been given a sacred duty. From that day forward, King Asoke taught the people to love and honor their Creator. They gathered together every season, giving thanks, singing songs of praise, and offering their best fruit, grains, and livestock. And just as the angel has promised, the land of Ukon was blessed. Years passed, and Ukon became a paradise. The fields were green and full, the forests alive with animals, and the rivers sparkled under the bright sun. People from far land visited Ukon, marveling at its beauty and the kindness of its people. But the day came when King Asoke grew old, his beard long and his hands frail. When he felt his time has come, he gathered the elders of Ukon and reminded them, "Never forget the Creator who has blessed us. Lead the people well and keep the worship as I have shown you." And with these last words, King Asoke passed on to the next life. Ukon continued to flourish, and the people remembered King Asoke's words, honoring the Creator every season as he had taught them. But years passed, and generations changed. A new king was chosen, a young man named Dubah, who was ambitious and curious but cared little for tradition. Dubah wondered why they should hold on to such old customs when there was so much in the world to explore. One day, Dubah ordered that strange wooden and clay figures be brought into the palace. They were idols of other lands, gods that Dubah found fascinating. "From now on, we will worship these gods," he announced to his people, smiling. Some of the elders were horrified, and they pleaded with him, "King Dubah, do not forget the Creator who has blessed us. Ukon's greatness is because of him, but Dubah only laughed. Old tales and old gods belong to the past, he declared. We will make our own future now. The people of Ukon were unsure, but many feared the king's wrath, and so they went along with his new orders. Dubah became more and more obsessed with his idols, ignoring the warnings of his advisors. One morning, as Dubah sat on his throne, a blinding light filled the room. An old man dressed in white, with a long beard that seemed to sparkle like stars, appeared before him. Dubah's heart pounded with fear, for the man's eyes were piercing and his voice thundered with authority. Dubah! 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 The old man said, your evil deed have reached the Creator. Turn back from this wicked path, or you will bring a curse upon yourself and all land of Ukon. The old man's words echoed through the throne room, and Dubah was frozen and fearful. Then, as suddenly as he has appeared, the old man vanished. Dubah looked around, his face pale. His advisors, seeing his shock, asked him what had happened, but when he told them, they looked at each other in confusion. They had seen no old man. Dubah, shaking but stubborn, dismissed the warning. Days turned into weeks, and he became even more determined to enforce his new worship. Those who refused to bow to his idols were punished, and his heart grew colder. He seized the lands, took young girls as his concubines, and ordered that every person must celebrate his idol on a grand festival day. Finally, the day arrived. The sun shone brightly, and people dressed in their finest clothes gathered reluctantly in the palace square. The golden idol of Dubah's chosen god was placed upon the throne, and music filled the air. But just as the people were forced to bow, a loud crack sounded from the idol. The golden head of the statue broke off, falling to the ground with a thunderous crash. The sky, once bright and colorful, turned black. A cold wind swept through the crowd as gasps filled the air. Dubah stood frozen, staring at his shattered god, when suddenly everything went black. He cried out, but no sound came from his lips. The once mighty king of Ukon was struck blind and dumb. Fear came on all the land of Ukon, as no one could move because the whole place was covered with darkness. There the people remembered their ancestor, especially King Asoke. As the people stood in the darkness, suddenly a bright light like the sun shone in the palace, bringing assurance of life to the people. Out of the stunning light came a still voice. People of Ukon, fear not, be still, and only follow the ways of your ancestor to remain under his blessing. But for Dubah, your king, I will greatly make to suffer until he turn from his new ways. So, my friends, do you think that there are still kings who believe that their achievement is not as a result of their own effort, but from their Creator? Kindly share your opinion in the comment section. Thank you for watching my video. Please do subscribe to support my channel. Like my video, share to family and friends, and please turn on the notification bell for more updates. Thank you. See you in my next episode. Bye for now.